After what happened during my first night in Treasure Island, I decided I wasn't dealing with this crap anymore, and I attempted to leave the group and report the findings to the police. But Greg wasn't having any of it, and he brought up the fact that he was my only ticket off the island, and I should choose my next words very carefully. I just gave in and decided, screw it, I might as well, I have nowhere else to go. We were surrounded by ocean after all. I needed some rest before my next shift in that place. I had a terrible nightmare that night. I dreamt that I was a young boy in Treasure Island. The suits were coming after me, and all of a sudden, I fell into darkness. As I was falling, I heard someone saying, I woke up a sweaty mess that afternoon, but I attempted to reassure myself that that was only a dream. I had made it back to the office around 11:50 on the clock, so I took the time to check around to see if that Mickey costume was around. And it was on the main stage, face down on the floor, that Donald Duck head still facing the opposite direction. The clock hit 12, and I pondered to myself, what horrifying things from hell am I facing tonight? I received a call, not from Greg, but his secretary, Lisa. She informed me that Greg's message was, in her words, pretty stupid, and that the equipment will be shipped in by the next week. She also debunked some of his claims. The photonegative suit can see, but not well, and it relies on its hearing. She also mentioned the character called Oswald, and about how he was never completed, but he wanders around like the photonegative Mickey does. But the whole shut off a camera trick should work on him too. However, his colours and textures were never completed, so he's a full black character, and he's hard to see in the cameras. I was understandably concerned, because it confirmed my previous suspicions that there was more than one suit wandering around this place. But I was more alarmed that the banging noise from the previous night came from the roof. Could the suits even get up there in the first place? Anyways, there was no time to be questioning things. It was time to survive against these characters. Luckily, nothing eventful happened until 1 AM. I was scouting through the cameras and saw Mickey standing in the hallway, facing away from the camera. I heard him laugh. It sounded terrifying, incredibly unlike the character he's supposed to be based on. I checked the main stage, and the Donald Duck face was staring right at me, no longer facing the wall like it usually did. However, I had little to no time to dwell on that because Mickey came back into my office and I heard the usual line, but I was too quick for the mouse and shut down the camera and he vanished. After that ordeal, I saw it. Oswald. He was standing in the staff area. I can only tell it was him because of his iconic long bunny ears. He was completely black and he was missing both of his arms. Lisa did mention that he was unfinished. As soon as I caught sight of him, he disappeared. Just then, I heard an ear-splitting quacking noise. I put my camera down, and the Donald head was on my table, quacking up a storm. In desperation to save my eardrums, I closed the camera, and it teleported back to its usual spot, facing the wall. 3 AM passed, and the suits were being docile. I had only one encounter with Mickey during this time. He said, and I shut the camera down, and he vanished into darkness. I was concerned about Oswald. I haven't seen a single sight of him since 1 AM. It was going to turn to 5 AM when I heard something say, That had to be Oswald. That didn't sound like Mickey. I scanned my office and surely enough, he was right there in the corner. I had no time to shut off my camera. I had no idea how long he was in there. Taking my chances, I hid under the desk and hoped that he didn't see me. To my relief, he must have not seen me. I peeked over my desk and he was gone. I tried to get my bearings again when I heard the same massive banging noise, but this time accompanied by a completely different voice. It said, followed by rapid shuffling and movement sound right above me. There were 4 of them. Mickey appeared yet again in my office, and I shut off a camera. But when I put the camera down, I saw a sight I will never forget. On my desk was a Mickey costume. Not a photo-negative one, but a normal coloured one. However, this was not a normal suit. Its face was disfigured, its jaw hanging wide open, its ears pointier and bat-like. It was lacking legs. Tiny little stumps were the only things that remained. But the eyes. Oh god, the eyes. It wasn't empty or vacant like photo-negative Mickeys, but they were human-like. But I had no time to do that. I immediately pulled up the camera and shut down it, praying to God that Mickey costume would be lured away. Thankfully, it did, and there was no sight of the costume. I call it the face, because of its horrifying face, and there was already a Mickey costume, so I had to differentiate. Before any more torture ensued, it hit 6 AM, and I was out of there like a lion running after a gazelle. I had made it through my second night, and I was safe, but I assure you, real suffering was yet to come.